Hi everyone, this is the last video of NestJS JWT Auth cookie series. So in this video, we are going to understand about how to protect a API with the JWT token in the cookie. And next, we are going to understand the refresh token utilization. Okay, so before going any further, I want to mention that the entire session, what I am going to explain here, I have already made as a blog. So the link of this blog will be available in the description under the video. So anyone wanted can go through the blog as well. Okay. So this is our project that we are working for past two videos. So in the previous video or the second video, what we have did, we have just generated token and saved it to the cookie and returning the response to the user. Now we need to do or we need to create a endpoint like a protected endpoint that should be validated against our JWT token, whether the user is authorized or authenticated user to access that endpoint or not. Okay, so for that, uh, to uh, to enable authentication or protecting a API, we need to create one more strategy. Okay, so that strategy should be for validating the JWT token. So previously, what strategy we have installed? Password slash, sorry, you observe here, this is the library we have installed. Passport hyphen local means this is extended from the passport library. Similarly, we need to install one more extended library, that is passport hyphen JWT. Okay. So that strategy will be JWT strategy. Okay, let's go to my blog and copy the uh, sorry, copy the packages links. Okay, so here you can see passport JWT packages. We need to install two packages. One is this is Node.js and this is TypeScript compatible package. Okay, let's install them. Now let's create our new JWT strategy. So our strategy created successfully. So this is the new strategy. I don't want tech file. Okay, this is our new strategy. Also change in user module. Okay, so now what we have to do to make a class strategy, it needs to be extends from passport method. Okay, passport strategy method. Here we need to pass type of strategy. See, here you can find three types like raw strategy, that is method. We don't want that. We need to have a type. If you observe here, types slash passport hyphen local. We don't want this one. Okay. Next one is passport-JWT. We want this strategy. Okay. Okay. This is imported from uh, passport-JWT strategy. Okay. If you look in local strategy, this strategy loads from the passport-local. Okay. They are different extended libraries. Now I need to name my strategy. So what I will do, I will give name like JWT. Okay. So here we need to configure few configurations, something like so this ignore expiration false means this strategy reads the JWT. So after reading the JWT, it will validate at the time. We are configuring some settings like ignore expiration time. No, we don't want to ignore the expiration time because uh, it should be a valid and within the valid period only JWT token. That's why we are setting to false. Okay. Next property here we are configuring is secret or key. So this value must be equal to the secret key that we configured with our JWT module. So this value have to assign it here. So there it was used for encrypting the JWT. Here it was used for decrypting the JWT. Okay. Next. Okay. So here we can see another property like JWT from request. Here we need to extract the JWT from the request. So after here from here we will have a callback method that will return the JWT token. So that value will be decrypted or encrypted by this strategy. Okay. So to do that, extract JWT that loads from the passport-JWT. Okay. From characters, and it will be a array. In that array, first we are trying to access the request, and here request type, please give the express type. Okay. And callback method. Okay. So here we should return the refresh token. So where is our refresh token? Our refresh token in the cookie, right? So what we are do? Let secret data. Okay. So request dot cookie. Okay. What is our cookie name? Go to our user controller. So this is our cookie name, right? Give it. Okay. So okay. Then secret data dot. What is our property name? Token. So here we simply returning the token. Okay. So here we know the default method get executed is validate, right? So here JWT strategy, after reading the token, it will decrypt the payload that it contains. Okay, that payload is nothing but the user data while we use it for encryption. If you have any doubt, you can local strategy. You can go to user service here. So this is a JWT token, right? Here is the payload. So this payload will be injected into our validate method. Okay. Payload. Okay. Now what we have to do? We have to, if not a valid payload, then return new unauthorized exception we will throw, or else we will simply return the payload so that user object in the request get populated with this data. Okay. So what we did one new strategy, that is passport JWT strategy. Okay. Here we have configured everything that needed for encryption of the JWT token. Here we are extracting the JWT token from the request. Okay. So on successful request, the payload will be injected into this method. If the payload is invalid, we return unauthorized exception, or else we'll return the payload. Okay, we are done with the strategy, and also make sure it should be registered in the providers. Okay, now let's create the service endpoint. So let me create a one dummy endpoint that should be protected. Only authenticated users can access. Okay, so what I will do, my endpoint is favorite movies, about movies. Here you need to specify gods, not the god, and here we need to specify the name of our strategy. What is the name of our strategy? JWT. Copy that. Okay. So sorry. Async movies. Okay. Return. Just give some sample data. Okay. This is my uh, protected endpoint. Okay. So now I want to access this only for authenticated users. Okay. Let's run the project. Okay, my application is running. Let's open the Postman. So here I have prepared our request. Okay, have movies. Before doing anything, just click here cookies, and you shouldn't have any cookies. Add two cookies. I want to test. Uh, Try to access the API without any authentication first. Okay, so that we can receive the message of unauthorized exception. Okay, so let's test it. Some internal error. Let me check. Okay, here you can see cannot read property of auth cookie undefined. So from here, the request doesn't contain cookie. Okay, so to read the cookie in our NestJS application, we must have a cookie parser. So that we need to install one more library that is related to cookie. Okay, while creating and sending, there is a no problem, but while reading, we need a cookie parser. Okay. So here we are reading, right? So we are getting the exception. We install that plugin and enable the cookie parser, then this issue will be resolved. So let's install that library. For cookie, we need to install these two libraries. Okay, let's install them. Okay, now go to main.ts file. Here, let's import the cookie parser. Okay, now let's integrate that cookie parser. Okay, now let's run our application again. Okay, up and running our application. Let's test. Now this 500 should be resolved. See, now I am getting another result because I haven't logged in. So what I will do, I will just first log in to my application. So this is my tab for logging. Okay, these are my credentials. So let's try to log in. So I'm successfully logged in. All right. I also got auth cookie. So if I go to my tab for secured endpoint, if you click on cookies, see here, one cookie is added. Our localhost cookie is added. Means this cookie will be sent to the server if we request any from that domain, this localhost domain. Okay, that's how it will work. So if I try to send again now, see, I'm able to get the data. Means I am authenticated. So we finally understand how to fetch the data from the secured endpoint. Okay, so that's all about the JWT strategy and the protecting an API, okay, by creating a new JWT strategy. Now next thing is refresh token. So what is this refresh token? Generally JWT access token is a short-lived token. Okay, whereas refresh token is much more long-lived when compared to the JWT. So this will be helpful to regenerate our expired JWT token without user entering his credentials. Okay, that is the purpose of the refresh token. So now we want to implement the refresh token. Okay, so first what I will do, I want to create a logic for validating the refresh token. Uh, Validating refresh token. First, I need to generate the refresh token along with the access token while user is trying to log in. Okay, that means here in our endpoint, it is currently empty, right? We need to have a logic to generate it. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to use a library like a random string generator. So I will generate a random string that will be used as my refresh token. Okay, along with that, I want to also install Moment.js. Moment is a famous library for handling the uh, daytime related tasks. So it is very helpful. So we are going to install both those libraries now. Okay. So let's go to my blog. So here is the random token generator. So let's install it. And also let's install the Moment.js. Okay. Now let's create a method in our user service for generating the okay, this is my method here. What I will do, let's import random JS and as well as momentum JS. random token, and one more thing is movement. Okay, let's import them both. So here what I want to do, let user data to update. So while creating refresh token and its expiration, we must update them as well into the database. Okay. So here what I will do, use user.ts file, get those names. Okay. So here what I wanted, I want these two values. So random token generate. Okay. So here I'm generating 16 character length. Okay. Token, and using movement.js format. So I want to add 1 day, the expiration. For that, what I can do, I can use a method like day and specify number of days I want. So I want to store date as this format. Okay. And finally, what I want to do, I want to save it into the database. To do that, this dot user dot update, I can update partially as well. So here I can pass user ID, user data to be updated. Okay. So here promise, and I want to return the string. Here it don't need. That string is our refresh token. Okay. That's how we generate and define the expiration date and save it to the database, and we return the refresh token. Now in the users control, what we have to do, we need to access it. So let refresh token equal to await this dot user service get refresh token. Here we need to pass the from the request object, from the user object, I want user ID. Okay. So let me refresh token. And to understand the cookie is added with refresh token, what we will do? For time being, to show some result, I am returning the secret data as a response. Okay. So let's run our application. Okay, let's test our login endpoint. So this is my login endpoint, right? Click it. Let's check the response. See, I am getting the 16 character length refresh token. Okay. So actually we don't want to expose, right? So let me remove them. Let's revert it. So we have understand we have successfully generating the refresh token at the time of access token as well. Okay. So now I want to invoke the refresh token endpoint so that it will regenerate the new access token as well as the new refresh token. Okay. So the best practice is once we have used refresh token, it is always good to create another refresh token. Okay. So what I will do for validating refresh token, we also check the expired access token as well. So that using the refresh token and we will fetch the email ID from the expired access token, we will query the database to get the appropriate user record. Okay. So to do that, Let's create our logic in user service. So here I can say public async it refresh token. Okay, email string, and I want refresh token string, right? And on successful validating the refresh token, I want to return it as current user. So promise and current user. Okay. So here what I will do, let user equal to this dot user dot find one. Okay. Where, so I am querying here. So what I am querying? I am querying with email and refresh token, and also I want to check the expiry date of the refresh token. So what I will do, const current date equal to momentum of format of YYMMDD. I am getting the current date. Here what I will do, refresh token expiration date to check more than or equal. Okay, to this method I want to pass the current date. Okay, if user doesn't get any data, we simply return null, or else we will do similar to our user registration, not user registration, user login. Just copy and paste here and return the current user. And here we need to await it. Okay, that's the logic. What is the logic? We will pass email and refresh token. So we will query the database with email and refresh token along with the expiration date. And if we don't exist the result, we return the null. If exists the result, we return the current user. Okay, that's the validation method for my refresh token. So now what I want to do means I want to create one more JWT strategy, but this strategy for refresh token. So what I will do, I will create one more JWT strategy, GCL service I want to create. So users slash refresh dot strategy. Okay. So my refresh strategy created. Let's go over there. So here is my refresh strategy. I don't want this. The spec file. And now go to our refresh strategy. Let's rename it. Okay. And also change it in user module as well. Name. Two times added. So here what I can do, I can remove this. Okay. So let's go to our refresh strategy. So I have mentioned it is almost like our JWT. So let's copy it quick. passport, and this should be from JWT, and I need to name like refresh my strategy name. Okay, and I need this entire constructor. Okay, shift alt F. So here I want to ignore the expiration because we know JWT access token is expired. So that's why I'm setting to true. Means we don't validate the JWT access token expiration. This should be from Express. So request Express. Okay. And something missing. Closing constructor. Okay. Secret key and everything is good. We are here also we are decrypting the expired JWT token to get the email address. Okay. So we know that we will have validate method, right? And by default it gives the payload of decrypted JWT token. But here I want this value as well. What is that? Refresh token value. Sorry, refresh token value. So to get that, we need to inject the request here. To do that, we have one property like, so this is the new property, pass request callback to the callback. So nothing but here first parameter will be the user request. So what? I will take the request. Okay. Alt F. So what I have to do here first, similar to this. No secret data. I am going to throw like new bad request exception. Okay. If there is secret data and what is the value from my secret data, go to user control and copy the refresh token name. So if that doesn't exist also, let's throw it like bad request, or else await, and we have to inject our user service private user service. Okay, and this dot user service dot validate refresh token. Okay, this method will be invoked here. What we need to do, payload dot email comma secret data dot copy this name. Okay, let's save it to the variable user. If no user, then also throw bad request. If at all, return the user information. Okay, that's it about our refresh strategy. What we are doing, we are creating one more JWT strategy only, but its name is different. That is for purpose is refresh. And here we don't want to validate the JWT expiration date because we know it is already expired. So we are ignoring it. And here we are also passing to request object to the validate method so that I can read the refresh token. So after reading the refresh token, we are validating against our logic. If the user exists, then we returning the user, or else we are returning as a bad request. Okay, that is our refresh token strategy. So next thing is I need to create an endpoint for my refresh token strategy. So go to user control, refresh token will be get only, no payload, right? And use God and auth gods. And here I need to specify my name of refresh token strategy. So what is the refresh token strategy name? Refresh. So here assign it. Now let's create our method async and refresh tokens. Okay. So here one thing is it will be as similar as this login method only. Okay. Everything will be the same. Only difference is this god name is different. Okay. So because here also we need to regenerate, right? So just copy and paste. So only changes strategy is changed. Everything remaining logic will be same only. Okay. So let's rerun the application. So here is my endpoint I have created. So first what I will do to expire, I will go to user module and here let's change the 1 hour to 30 seconds. Means our no need to specify anything. Number is enough. 30 seconds means our JWT token expires in 30 seconds. So first what I will do, I will log in so that I will get a new cookie with a 30-second JWT token. Now let's access our protected service. Accessing. It will expire after 30 seconds. See, it is expired after 30 seconds. Now what I will do, I am going to my refresh token endpoint. I am hitting my refresh token. URL is I have given correct URL only. Okay. Refresh token. See, I got success. I got new cookie as well. Now go to immediately to our secured endpoint. See, again I am getting data. So like this, you can check couple of times after expiration. Immediately click on the refresh token key. Okay, let me show you one more time. So expired 30 seconds is completed. Now what I will do, I'm going to refresh token endpoint, clicking. So I got success. Again I back to my secured endpoint. I'm getting the data. So successfully we have implemented our refresh token endpoint as well. So that's all guys. This is the end of this series. What we have discussed, we have discussed the NestJS application with auth cookie, user registration, generating the access token, and generating the refresh token. I think this video has delivered some useful information to you all. If you like my video, please do subscribe to my channel. We will meet you again soon with the new videos. Until then, signing off.